Alright guys, today we're going to do a carburetor on a Coleman Powermate 1850. It's model pm0401855. I did a recoil on the last video, put a new rope in it. It's a pain in the ass. Hopefully you never have to do that. Carburetor isn't so bad. Alright, so any of the parts that we need for this job, I'll put in the description below. Carb kits, carburetor, I do a whole carburetor, whatever you need, that I need, I'll put in the description below. Flathead screwdriver, 8mm, two of them, pop them out. Alright, and we're going to take this air filter off. It's still good shape, I'm not going to bother. See if I can find an air filter for you guys. Usually I just have a foam filter in there, but you know, they got this thing here. Alright, 8mm, 1, 2, 3 of them, pop them out. We got torque 27s in the back here, or 10mm or 3/8. Before we take those two off, keep it on there nice and strapped, let's go ahead and get this hose off. There's a fuel on-off valve in the back here. Make sure it's off. It'll be up and down. And then we're going to grab the clamp a little bit down. And then we're going to grab the fuel line, give it a twist back and forth. And then you can wiggle it on off after that. I'm going to need two hands. And then make sure you drain your tank all the way out, blow it out with air, make sure all the water is completely out of it. I've already done that before just to be able to see if I could get this running without doing the carburetor. Two 10mm, get them out. Now we're going to have the throttle arm. It's going to just twist out. We're going to bring it down like that, twist it, and slide it right out. See, it's a little S. And then the spring, you're going to just pull it out by hand. I need both hands for that. Oh, we're going to go ahead and clean off a spot here. And we can do this. Pay attention what comes out of this. See if there's any water, you know, stuff like that. We got a 13mm. We're going to pop that out. Just keep your eye out for any bubbles. That's air bubble, but sometimes there'll be bubbles and that'll be water. This thing ran though, and it's just surged. So more than likely it's just this bolt right here needs to be cleaned. It's just probably dirty. Pop it out, take a look. This bolt is also your main jet. So it's got, yeah, it just needs to be cleaned out. So it's got a gasket on it. Just leave that in place. Get the bowl off. You may have to tap it a few times. So there's dirt in the bottom there you're going to want to clean out. Then we got this pin here for the float. We want to get that out. So we're just going to pull it out. That float comes out. Needle valve just fell out. There's a needle valve. Alright, and then I got some tricks for this guy here. Let's see if I can't find a way to set this up. This is my trick here. 14 karat gold testing solution. It's an acid. Make sure you wear safety goggles, wear gloves. I've tried all the other acids. This is the only one that works. If you get this on your skin or you get it in your eyes, just rinse with water. You'll be fine. Just rinse it with water right away. Don't panic. Alright. So you're just going to put a couple drops right on top of here. Boom. See how it's bubbling and fizzing? You're going to do a few drops in here. Get it to bubble and fizz. And then you've got a spot here and a spot here. So this side and this side. You're going to get acid in there. Let that shit really just eat it up. It's just going to clean all the gunk out. Alright, so then your carb cleaner, this is brake cleaner, brake or carb cleaner, whatever's cheapest in your auto parts store. Just lightly rinse it so you don't get any splash back into your face. And then once you get it all rinsed out, you're going to go through it hard. If you get any of this carb cleaner or brake cleaner in your eyes, it's going to burn like hell. It's okay. The pain will go away. You will not be blinded. It just, while it's evaporating, it hurts like hell. So just try to keep your eye open, and it'll evaporate faster. All right. And then when we get all that rinsed out, we're going to blow through this spot really hard. We're going to blow through this spot really hard. And then I'm going to go through this spot here very hard. There's 2 spots in here. And then we're going to rinse out this and this really well. Rinse out the bowl really well. Make sure there's no chunky anything in here. Just, you know, wipe it all out. Rinse it out again good. Make sure there's no chunky nothing left in there. Make sure that this is spraying through. This is the most important part. If you have to, do a few more drops of acid. It's not going to hurt anything. Let it simmer and boil again. You want that thing to be like brand new. Rinse it all off real good. You just want to make sure it's flowing through there. And then you're going to rinse all this off really well. Make sure it's all really clean. Didn't mess with the gasket on the carburetor. It stayed there, but mine's swelling. So the brake cleaner is making it swell, but I should be able to get the bowl back on there still. But just in case, I'll put the kit that you need for this. They'll have all your stuff that you need. It'll have the inner seal. See the smooth sides towards you. It'll have this. It'll have this gasket here that's on this. It'll have the new needle valve, which you want to make sure is good and clean. And no, that's it, just that. All right, but I don't need any of those parts. I just needed to clean this out. I'll put it's K11 LMR is the part number. I'll put it in the description below. So we'll put this in, needle valve in. Make sure the needle valve is in the float like that. Put this pin in to hold it all in place. Oh, look. All right. So it should sit evenly. This one's just, it should be like this. This one's just off a little bit. It's okay right now, but eventually it's going to need to be replaced. And you would pop that seal out, clean it out really well, and then shove a new seal in. I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I don't need this to be an issue later. Use a pick to take this out. This is a tecumseh tool that I use on the Briggses too. It's got the little hook to pull it out, plus it's got the side for putting it back in. I'll put this in the description below. There's the part number right there. There we go. Alright, so we're going to pick this seal out. Pops it right out, no problem. And then bowl gasket, because it's swelling up. I don't need any issues, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I got new. Clean this area out really well with brake cleaner or carburetor cleaner, where the seal was. Get all that really nice and clean. See, it looks like there's a little piece of red in there. That's part of a seal. We need to get that out of there. There, so that's out of there now. That's all nice and clean in there. You just don't want that because that would have, if that came loose, it would have made this whole thing leak. Alright, let me just use this as a base. Alright, so now we're going to put this seal with the ridge side out. Let's fucking see if we can get this to focus. See, ridge side out. The smooth side is towards this. So that way the smooth side, when you shove it in that hole, will be out towards the needle valve. You're going to get it shoved in there nice, firm, do a little twist, and then I always like giving it a couple taps with this. I'm going to need to hold with both hands so I can get a good hit. But we're going to get a good couple of just taps on there. And we're going to pop this out. New bowl gasket on here. Get it set in place. Put the float needle valve down in, then put the pin in place. See, it's much more level. It's perfect. We're going to blow air through this. If you can't blow anything through there, it's good. And then lift this and it should blow air through. And that's perfect. It's ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and clean out this bowl, make sure it's perfect. Bowl back on, then put the bowl bolt back in place. I left the gaskets on there too. Make sure there's a gasket between your carburetor and the engine. Like on this side or on the carburetor. But you're just going to want to make sure you've got one in place or you'll suck air and it won't run right. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stick this throttle arm back in like so. And then we're going to get the spring stabbed back in the little hole next to it. 3/8 bolts in through the carburetor into the intake. Bolt it down. Good time to put some gas in here and turn the valve on and make sure that the fuel is running through the system properly. That's good. Turn it back off. I'm going to stab it back onto the fuel nipple. And then some pliers, get the clamps back into place. I need both hands. Yeah. Turn the fuel on. And then we're going to sit here, make sure that fuel is not leaking out of the carburetor. Sometimes it does. Everything in there is very dry. If it does, which it's not, but if it does, just lightly tap the bottom of the carburetor until it stops leaking. The needle valve might be stuck down and it'll just pop back up and then it'll be fine. This one's not though, so it's fine. I do have an issue with this shutting off, so I'm not worried about it starting. I'm worried about getting it shut back off once I get it started. So we're going to fire it up real quick. Nice and smooth. Alright, I was able to choke it off. There's something wrong with the on-off switch. It's just not working. Usually you just shut it off. But it runs perfect. We're happy with that. So now we're going to go ahead and put this bowl back on. This tube will go into this rubber boot, and then you will put those 3 8mm bolts back into place. 1, 2, and one down here, 3. Stick the air filter back in place. 2 8mm or flatheads, tighten them down. That's it. Alright guys, I'll put the carburetor kit. I'll put the whole carburetor in the description below. They're super cheap. Wicked, you know, easier just to put a brand new carburetor on this. This helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, show me a little support. If you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. I'll be more than happy to have you. Peace.